Hey, Bulldog Nation. Yes, WBSU, your podcast world. You're listening to Podcast World, and you are listening to an episode of A Bold Take where we are making alumni connections and other connections beyond the Bowie State University community and talking about every single thing. It's the day after spring break. We are excited here at Bowie State because we've had a 10-day break and we are rested. So, this is a good podcast to come on and tune in on. We have a riveting panel of guests today. And we're going to be talking about a few little things. We're just coming off of CIAA. And we gotta recap that because it was an amazing time where Bowie State University showed our best both on the court and off the court, and we are so proud of ourselves. And then we're talking about what's coming up. We have our Founders Day coming up. We're in the midst of Women's History Month. All the great things. It is a good day to be at BSU. I'm your host, Carla Henry Hopkins. I'm the Alumni Engagement and Stewardship Director. And today, our episode is doing a couple of things. We are doing the CIAA recap, BSU at its best in Baltimore, and we were at our best. And we are talking to three wonderful women on our campus community who are making a difference every day in their profession, but also outside of their profession by inspiring and aspiring other young women and women of all ages and backgrounds in the work that they're doing as well. And so let me introduce them. Let me go ahead and introduce I stay organized now. Just because I know them doesn't mean they don't have a bio. We're gonna have a bio now. Before I introduce them, though, let's give a hand to our studio audience today. We like when we have people in the audience. So thank you, audience, for joining us today. First, we have with us, she is no stranger to a Bold Take podcast. She's been with us several times. The Assistant Director of Conference and Event Services, Annette Wedderburn. Y'all know that name. She's a BSU alum, class of 2010. She is a strategic event leader driving high impact campus experiences here at Bowie State. And through her work in conference and event services, she plays a key role in executing, and this is for real, executing, it says major, but all major university initiatives that elevate engagement and brand presence. And she does an excellent job at it. She's also the chair of the BSU Women's Forum, and she champions spaces that empower and connect women across campus, which is equally as important. She's a committed alumna and a campus leader, and she actively supports student organizations and contributes to institutional leadership through the staff university council, which I'm also a part of. So I get to work with her in several areas. The thing you need to know about Miss Annette, though, she leads with intention, authenticity, and a clear focus on impact. She wants to know what is the rhyme and reason of what we're doing. She wants to make sure that's actualized. And so thank you, Miss Wedderburn, for coming on back to the table. We're also joined by our head coach of the women's basketball team. Yeah, Shadae Swan in the house. She is an amazing leader on campus in terms of her leadership around our athleticism and our women. She's been leading Bowie State University women's basketball since 2016, building a program that is defined by consistency, discipline, and results. Under her leadership, the team has reached y'all heard me. Don't sleep on it. I said multiple 20-win seasons and NCAA tournament appearances while maintaining strong academic performances across the roster. That's not an easy task. She's not just coaching basketball, she's developing leaders and reinforcing a culture of excellence that extends beyond the court. And we don't always get to have her because her schedule and the practice schedule and everything. So we're excited about having you here today, Coach. And then rounding up our team of brilliant, bold women is Dr. Zipporah M. Miller. She is the Director of Organizational Learning for Anne Arundel County Public Schools. She's also a BSU alumna, class of 1997. Dr. Miller brings over 30 years of leadership and education, currently driving professional learning and organizational development initiatives within Anne Arundel County Public Schools. She's a former Prince George's County Board of Education member, and she has a strong track record of impact at both the institutional and community levels. As a proud Bowie alumni, she represents a multi-generational Bulldog legacy. We're going to get into that in a minute, and leads with a balance of professional excellence and deep personal commitment to family and service. And those are the wonderful women that are rounding out our talk today. And so thank you again, ladies, for being here. Um, let's get into it. So first of all, we have an educator. Well, all of us are educators. And we're educating in our different ways. Some of us more transactionally than others. We're educating through the discipline of sports and athletics and recreation. We're educating through professionalism with event planning and focus in terms of initiative and goal settings, and then directly impacting students in our role. And as we, go into Women's History Month, we're going to talk about CIAA right after I ask this question, but I'd be remiss without starting here. That when you think about, and I said earlier, every month is Women's History Month. So the audience, let's get it together. Just like every month is Black History Month, we just decided to focus a little bit in March on women, but every month is Women's History Month. As you think about your own personal accomplishments. And I talk about us being in education. What are you the most proud of as your accomplishment in terms of being a woman? And sometimes I'm looking at coach and male dominated spaces, and also educational spaces in terms of promotion and advancement, navigating the politics of higher ed. What are you most proud of in your career or your time here? I'm going to start with you, Coach.
Me? Okay. So I'm most proud of just my journey in general. I'm a first generation college student. So great. Well, so that was a huge accomplishment for my family in itself. For me, basketball was always my go-to. It was a stress reliever. And now that I'm able to inspire other young women to just become better, I'm able to teach them all of the things that I didn't know when I was in college. And for me, it's more about preparing them for life after college. When you're in high school, when you're younger, it's always about basketball. Everyone has this dream that I'm going to become a WNBA player, or I'm going to play professional basketball. And honestly, you don't really have a large chance of doing so. So my thing is, while you're in college, you have to, outside of basketball, you have to find like what fits you. So either when it comes to choosing your major, you can't decide because of money. You have to decide on something that you love, something that's going to impact you for the rest of your life, and something that's going to help you to impact other people. So I'm most proud of being able to take my journey and share that with others and to help them become better individuals.
Well, I see the women athletes on campus, particularly our basketball players, and I tell you, you are doing what you are setting out to do. You are a mentor, mother, probably when you don't want to be auntie, all of the things.
Yes.
Dr. Miller, what when you think about your career and and just your continued career, because none of us are finished. What are you most proud of right in this moment?
Wow, that is a powerful question. What am I most proud of? I would say when I think about students, former students, or community members who come to me and they just give me a glimpse of, oh, Miss Miller or Dr. Miller or Zipporah, you made an impact in my life in this way or that way.
Yeah.
It's really important, as women, I always watch how women carry themselves, how they speak, how they move, how they navigate themselves. And I'm like, I want to be like that. Oh, I want to be like that. And so when someone comes to tell me that, sometimes it brings tears to my eyes because I say, well, I must have done something right that someone came and said. And it's not just about education. It could have been just helping them navigate through a situation. So I'm most proud of when someone is able to come to say, you know what, you made an impact in my life when you did this, or you made an impact in my life when you gave me a word of encouragement.
It's so fulfilling, isn't it?
Yes.
Because not all the time do we have the full circle moment, but when we get it, it's so fulfilling to know that you had a little bit to do with somebody, feeling like they are manifesting, right?
I want to just piggyback on that because one day I was having Mother's Day dinner with my mother-in-law, and she was an educator too. And a former student of mine came and tapped me on my shoulder and she said, "This is my daughter. Her name is Zipporah."
Wow.
And I almost broke down. She said, "I named her Zipporah because you were such a good role model in your
Wow.
class." Just to see that.
You said you almost broke down. I would have been laid down in them people's basketball.
I'll never forget that.
Yeah,
Never forget.
that's major. That's major. Miss Wedderburn, What are you most proud about?
This Philadelphia girl coming all the way here to Bowie, Maryland. I'm proud to be able to have impact. You're talking about a young girl doing events just in high school to be able to really bring full circle and be a part of the mission, of be a part of the strategic plan of something bigger, right? So it's not just doing events, it's how the events connect to the success of the group or the organization. And being at Bowie State University, I've been able to help connect, meet people, help our students watch us. I've been able to mentor students. So for me, just being able to take a vision, a dream to a higher level and really see the impact, just see how we can grow. So everything we touch is beautiful, and everything that we touch has meaning, and everything we touch has a way for people to grow and learn from. So for me, I'm proud of that. I'm proud from where I came from. I'm proud from what the work that I'm doing, and I'm proud that I'm doing it at an institution that I love.
That is amazing. I wanted just to start there. We're going to move into CIAA, but as women, sometimes people don't ask us. They don't ask us. We're always telling people, what makes us proud about them. But sometimes we don't take a moment to really pat ourselves on the back, to give our own selves affirmation, and really think about how far we've come. And so, in all the stories that I've heard that you all shared, it really was about, this is who I was, and I took who I was, and at the core, what was my passion, and I moved it to something even bigger. And so I think that is a great thing. So here we go. CIAA, and I know Zipporah, you didn't go, but you will hear a lot of things that went down. I want to start with Miss Wedderburn. Me and her, we're on these meetings with the National CIAA and the Visit Baltimore and all of these groups, really planning this for months and months and months ahead of February. And every year that has been in Baltimore, we've really been trying to outdo ourselves as a brand institution. Bowie State University, of course, being the institutional host to the CIAA. Ms. Wedderburn, what do you think is the cultural significance in terms of Bowie State, our visibility, our brand presence in Baltimore, and how have you seen that maybe change or shift or amplify over the last few years?
It's definitely grown. We have watched ourselves grow. I think we're planting seeds. We're planting seeds not just for us, but for that little girl or little boy that's in Baltimore when we're there and they see the Bulldog or they see the Bowie State image, they can visualize themselves saying, oh, maybe that's where I want to go, or that's where I want to be. I want to be like them. So we're not just doing it for the moment. We're really doing it for the future. We're planting seeds and we're growing. So every time we put a footprint in Baltimore, every time we elevate the city with the HBCU pride and our institution, we are doing something greater. Long after we're gone, people will look back and say, I remember the Black and Gold. They were here a long time ago. And that's what we're doing. That's why every corner that we're on, every billboard that you see, it's bigger than just that moment. We are definitely making history. We are transforming lives. When a young person walks by one of those signs, or even in the host hotel, and they look and see those big signs and that BSU, they are saying, that could be me if it's not them. I'm there for inspiration. We are inspiring lives. I'm about changing lives. I want to be a change agent. I want to be a part of that. I want to leave impression. I want to leave footprint, so that long after the legacy of the work that we're doing, that's what we're doing it for. And we've been doing it on a high level.
We have. We were Black and Gold. We bled Black and Gold on the corner of Pratt Street.
Yes, on the street.
Wherever that other street was. Coach, a winning season. We were so proud of you, of the young lady. You guys got you out. That was hard work, but I tell you, even though we didn't go all the way, we couldn't have been more proud of the work that you, the assistant coaches, your whole team did with our young ladies and how they showed up, extending the brand, the Bowie brand in Baltimore, really. Let me know, how did you feel leaving out of the CIAA tournament?
Honestly, leaving that day, I was a little disappointed because, again, it didn't end the way that we wanted it to.
Yeah.
When I reflect on it, we had a a great run.
Yes.
I think the young ladies, they left it all on the court that day.
Yes, they did.
So
That was a
really
great game.
did not have a reason to, hang their heads low, to just, walk out with pride. So I was very proud of our team and the accomplishments that we had this season. Because of our record, we actually have the opportunity to play in the Black College Invitational Championships, which is this weekend. It's a tournament. It's the top teams from the CIAA and the SIAC who weren't able to participate in the NCAA tournament. So they'll play against each other this weekend. So I'm just overly excited and proud of our team. And to piggyback off of what Miss Wedderburn said, like, I'm a Baltimore resident. Everyone asks me, why don't you move out Bowie? Because I love my city.
Yeah.
And I really believe that the CIAA being in Baltimore, it gives our youth hope.
Yes.
So a lot of those kids, they don't know what a Bowie State is. They don't know what any of the schools in the CIAA is, but we're able to bring that recognition to the area, and they're able to see that they don't have to go to a P4 school to play in that type of environment. They can go to a Bowie State University.
That's right.
They can still get the recognition. They can still have a great experience, and they're always going to have a community that's going to support them.
Well, we thank you for the collective work, Ms. Wedderburn, and for you. And let me tell you, we're going to continue to talk about things. I want to just take a moment as we get ready to go to break to shout out the BSU CIAA Planning Committee. Y'all know who you are. And I just shout out athletics, student life, the Thomasina Boardley. Yes, you girl, it's Women's History Month. Jatina, of course, Jaleesa, all of the people who made CIAA 2026 special. We honor you, your time, your professionalism, your excellence, everything. I started calling names, so now I'm in trouble. Evergood, Sabrina Ram, Whit Swithy, all of the people. But we really appreciate the guidance, and certainly in the spirit of our brother, our friend, and our colleague, VP Dowdy. I think we made him proud. That's a good place to start. But you're listening to A Bold Take, and we have so much more to talk about in terms of women's history, how they're making a difference here at Bowie State University. We'll be right back. Bowie State University alumni community and broader community. There is so much happening at the Bowie State University, and we just want to share what's coming up at BSU. The Spring 2026 Career Fair at Bowie State University will be held Wednesday, April the 8th from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. in the MLK Center. Students and alumni can connect with employers across the region actively recruiting for full-time roles, internships, and other opportunities. Attendees should bring updated resumes and dress in business professional attire. More details are available in the Bold Buzz newsletter or by contacting alumni at bowiestate.edu. Bowie State University and the University of Maryland will host the 2026 BSU UMD Social Justice Alliance Symposium. This year's theme is Freedom, Dreams, and Radical Joy, Youth Voices in the Pursuit of a Just Society. It is honoring, of course, the life and legacy of our very own Lieutenant Richard W. Collins III. The symposium will take place on the campus of University of Maryland College Park, and full details are available in the Bold Buzz newsletter. Calling all walkers, calling all joggers and runners. The Bulldog 5K Walk and Run takes place on Sunday, March 17th at 2 p.m. And this year's race honors the legacy, the life, and commitment of our own VP Cloud Dally Jr., whose dedication to Bowie State Athletics continues to inspire the Bulldog community. Proceeds support Bowie State University student athletes and the Department of Athletics. Early bird registration is $40 and is available through May 16th. The event will take place rain or shine, so come out and jog with BSU and learn more in the Bowie Buzz newsletter. Big news for the Bowie State University community. We are still riding the star of our $128.5 million campaign. The BSU Bold Campaign for Excellence has officially concluded, more than doubling the campaign's original goal, and is the largest fundraising achievement in Bowie State University history. This historic milestone reflects the power of the Bulldog community and its commitment to the future of Bowie State University. It shows the power of what happens when we all work together. In celebration of Women's History Month, the Office of Alumni Engagement and Stewardship is proud to highlight BSU winning women, alumni who are breaking barriers, leading in their professions, and making meaningful impact in their communities. Discover their stories and celebrate Bulldog excellence by visiting bowiestate.edu/alumni and tell us your winning woman story. Congratulations to our very own President Amita Bro, who was recently inducted into the Circle of Excellence, the highest honor within the Daily Record's Top 100 Women. This recognition celebrates her leadership, her impact, and her commitment to advancing Bowie State University. Congratulations again to President Amita H. Bro. Our Bowie State National Alumni Association chapters are also hosting a myriad of events across the region. This includes initiatives like community service drives, upcoming scholarship events. For details on this and other alumni activities, including upcoming opportunities to engage with the Bulldog Network, please check out all of these opportunities, whether it be on campus or through the Alumni Association, in the Bowie Buzz every week at 7 a.m. Well, Bulldog communities, this has been the update and the things that are on the horizon at BSU. We hope that you will join us for some of these initiatives as we continue to go boldly forward. Hey, welcome back, Bulldog Nation. You're listening to WBSU Podcast World, and you've been listening to the Bold Buzz, where we talk about a little bit of everything in the alumni community and beyond. And today we've been talking about all things CIAA. We've been joined by, again, our beautiful panel this morning, which is Dr. Zipporah Miller, our head coach for the women's basketball team, Shadae Swan, and also Annette Wedderburn, who is, well, y'all know who she is. She's BSU events extraordinaire. And right before we broke, we were giving homage to just our women's basketball team. I want to shout out our men's basketball team too. I don't want to leave the brothers out. Let's give them a shout out too for Jake Feast and their game, their ending game was amazing as well. And so they did leave their heart and everything on the floor. We were so proud of all of you all. And so know that I wanted to say that publicly before we moved on. But we are talking about women today. I thought about us as professionals on a campus where we see a lot of women of different stages of their life, all in all of our operation and management navigating through our profession. And so my thought is, in my 32-year career of higher ed, I picked up some things from the women that I've worked with, whether she was the administrative assistant at the front desk, whether she was a budget administrator, whether she was a dean of a school or a vice president. I picked up some great things. And also, I was able to share outside of the profession in a way that I don't know if our male counterparts do in that way. As you think about your time here at Bowie specifically, who are the women? This is a good shout out period. Who are the women on campus that you look at as an example of something, whether it's strength, whether it's something in your profession, whether it's the ability to mentor, they allow themselves to be mentored by you. Who are those women? I'm curious. And I'm sure that some of those women would love to hear their names today. And so let me start with you, Dr. Miller.
I am going to shout out my mentor when I first became an administrator. And I came to BSU for my master's. And my master's was in school administration and supervision. So my first role in Prince George's County, overseeing a large science department, was just daunting. And my mentor was Dr. Yvonne Crawford, who's also one of the professors here at Bowie State University. And one of the things was when they were selecting mentors for each leader, we put down a few names, and she was the first on my list. And sometimes you're like, I'm not going to get her. And when I got her, my heart melted because she leads with grace. She leads with intentionality, and she leads with love. So anytime I went to her and I needed support or even to cry on her shoulder, I would leave there feeling fulfilled, but also feeling stronger. So I may go there crying and frustrated, didn't know how to navigate a situation. She would listen, and then she would give me guidance, and then she'll make sure before I walked out the door I had some next steps to follow. So I shout out Dr. Yvonne.
Come on, Dr. Yvonne Crod. Well, you were shouted out today. That's a beautiful story. What about you, Coach? Who is some of the who are who's a woman that stands out to you? I know there are many because we have so many phenomenal women here. This might be a daunting task for us to but who's a woman that?
I don't know. I probably can't just name one, but when I first became the head coach, I would say Coach Lattimore, who was the head track and field coach at the time. Yes, Michelle. Yeah, she definitely took me under her wing, and she showed me what it took to be a head coach. So if I had any questions or anything, I could always go to her. Then I would say Miss Renee Howard in athletics, because her, with the help of Mr. Dowdy, they are the ones who kind of got me out of my shell. So I always go to Miss Howard. Like, if I need anything, I go vent to her, and because sometimes it's just a lot and it's overwhelming being a head coach. And honestly, the women's forum really helped me. So I was always laid back. I would just stay to myself, and Mr. Dowdy and Miss Howard, they kind of made me go to the very first events. And that's when I met so many women on campus. And I think from that moment, they made me feel like comfortable. Like athletics is down there by itself. So we're kind of off from everyone else. And I think since that moment, I just felt a part of the community. I met so many incredible females, and now I go to the events whenever I can, and it's just nice to be in that space with so many supportive women on campus.
It is. You love the women's forum for that. It gives us a space to be, right, and to be seen.
Definitely.
To be revalidated, and all of the things that women do so wonderfully. Miss Wedderburn, I know you got a laundry list. I'm just asking for it. I know it's hard. It's hard. It's
That's a list. But really, the women's forum, and thank you for that, because thank you, Coach, because it does allow you to put the mirror up. That's what we do. The mirror is up when you are a part of the women's forum, to see yourself in other women, and to be surrounded, right? So when I first came to Bowie State, I didn't have my educational hat on, but Dean Jetter, Rhonda Jetter, a lot of people don't know this.
Wow.
Jetter was the one who pulled me out and said, you're going to have to go on to get these letters behind your name and finish up this degree. And even to continue to the next degree. It was Dean Yetter who secretly behind the doors, people wouldn't even know that, but she was the one who called me up on the phone and was like, this is you. You can do this. You can work. You can have a family. And you can finish this degree. And so she, till today, there's nothing, she can call me anytime, and I'm going to show up and show through, and I'm going to pay it forward for what she did to me. So whenever I can whisper into a young professional's ear about getting yours or doing something for you, I'm going to do that, because you can, and I'm going to support them. You can't just say it. You got to have action behind it. So I shout out to Miss Renee Howard and Clyde Dowdy for motivating you to be a part of these events, because they're for us.
That's right.
And when your leadership believes in it, then you feel like there's nothing I can't do when you had that kind of support. So shout out to Dean Jetter.
I'm on Dean Jetter. We heard today. Somebody talk to Dean Jetter. We talking about us on this podcast today. But that's a beautiful, those are really wonderful stories. I'm just going to blanket my whole, all the women in my division, because I know they'll come for me if I don't say, but really all the women in my division, they bring a unique perspective, every last one of them. I learn from them. And because we are different generations and we're different places in our professions, and some of us are just starting families, some of us are retired, getting ready to retire, and all of the things in between. I kind of see a microcosm of my life every day, right? I see the young professional, and I remember when I was her, and she's rushing out to the daycare, but she's still doing this job at Bowie State with so much enthusiasm and attention and professionalism. And then I see my other colleagues who could probably do this in their sleep, but they're taking their time with other professionals to make sure that they know as much as they do. And so shout out to the women in philanthropic engagement who are doing a job of, raising money, and women know how to take a dollar and make it five. And so thank you for the women in philanthropic engagement who work alongside the VP, but who know how to take the money that people give us and stretch it in the places where our students can benefit. So that's my blanket. But if I had to share one woman, it would be Makiba Green, Dr. Makiba Green. I'm shouting you out today. Those of you who know her know that she's a good friend of mine, but more so than being a good friend, she's always been a mentor. She encouraged me to go back to school along with my father, which I was kicking and screaming in 2020, to get a degree in mental health counseling. And I said to her, I'm never doing it. I'm never doing it. And I actually did do it. I graduated last year, but it was because of her saying similarly, no, you can do all of the things. She also is a good, you talked about mirror. I love a woman who can push back on me in love and is not a mean girl with it, but who can say, oh, maybe you could have done that a little differently. Or did you think about this? Because iron sharpens iron. And I appreciate women who are, some people say I can be a little intimidating, but she is so not intimidated by me. She will get all the way, gather me and put me in the corner. I appreciate you, Dr. Green, for that. So thank you for sharing that. What do you think is, as we, think about the history of women, and we have our own history maker and our own first female president of this institution and all of that. But what are the ways that you try to memorialize, or that you feel like we should memorialize, the living history that's happening at Bowie State, specifically with women every day? And what I mean by that is that we have women here on campus, as I think both of you said, that are so under the radar. They're so humble. Like, they're doing this job, but then you Google them and you're like, what? You're the chair of a board somewhere. Wait a minute, what's happening? And I think the Women's Forum is a great example. But what are some of the other ways that you could envision us memorializing the history makers of women here at BSU and what they mean to not only this community, but the larger community at large? Dr. Miller, you got some thoughts about that?
Oh, wow. That is another powerful question, because women always are behind the scenes. And I know, the Bible says humility precedes honor. We see the humility in women, but we have still yet to find a way to ensure that we honor all women. And I say that because as Coach Swan was naming names, I was like, I went first and I should have named like 5, 6 other names. Names are just coming back and forth. So what should we do? One, we need to go back and tell those women thank you. Because some of those women don't even know that they impacted our lives. There's some on my list who I watched.
Yeah.
However, they have no idea the impact that they had on my life. And it was huge. It was major, right? When they walked into the room, they commanded a room. One is to tell them thank you. Two, if you ever have an opportunity to go before a mic like now, to be sure to shout out their name, and say something about it. Or when you're speaking somewhere, shout out their name. If there are awards being given, sometimes we shy away from, not shy away, but we're so busy we don't have time to do it. Take the time when you see an award nomination, say, you know what? I remember how so-and-so impacted me. Right now, Dr. Eleanor White probably doesn't know how much she impacted me because I never told her. And she ever won on one of them. But she was the chief academic officer. When she walked in the room, I was a teacher. I was like, wow, Dr. Monica Golson, who was our school superintendent. I watched her as she grew her career in Prince George's County Public Schools. And I remember, as she was in the math office, how she carried herself. And math is generally a male-dominated field. How she carried herself with grace, but she also had the confidence, because she knew what she knew and she knew what she was doing was best for the students, and watched her grow. And so just shouting out women every time you know of a woman. Then she ended up leading one of the largest school districts in the entire nation.
Wow. Yeah. I love the fact that you said say thank you. Because sometimes we assume that people know how much they mean, but you haven't really just taken a minute to say, I just need to tell you how much you mean in this moment. And so some of the simplest things, that does memorialize it, because while it's not a plaque on the wall, for that person walking around for the rest of their time, they know that you have had impact on them, or they've had impact on you. So thank you so much for sharing that. What do you think, Coach? How should we, if we're not doing it, outside of our formal ways, our organizations that do it, how should we make sure that women are always in the story of BSU and beyond?
I think first and foremost is just supporting one another. Because once you support someone, then it gets out like what that person is doing, what their accomplishments are. They know that the other women on campus are supporting them, and the recognition gets out there. And then I would just say acknowledging what they have done and how they've impacted your life. Again, as you stated, because a lot of times, again, we have so many people who come and they help us to grow, and we never acknowledge them. So I would say, I feel like if we do that as well, more women would be more willing to do more. Because a lot of times, again, we feel as though we're not doing enough. We feel as though our voices aren't heard because we aren't being acknowledged. So I feel as though if we take the time to actually say, oh, thank you, or you played a part in my life this way, or I saw how you handled that situation, then more women would be more willing to just be more impactful.
Yeah, that's a good one. I love that. Ms. Wedderburn, what are your thoughts about that?
I mean, if I had to add, I would say a couple of things come to mind, but one of the things is just know that you're being watched.
Yes.
How you carry yourself, how you greet sisters or the ladies, or how when you're in the room, how you embrace them.
Yeah.
Because people are watching. And if they see you do it, then they start doing it.
They mimic.
And they mimic it.
Yeah.
They say, oh, it's safe to show love? Yes. Is it safe to give compliments? Yes. Is it okay to encourage publicly? Yes. Demonstrating, always know it's a ministry. I always say this is a ministry. Always know that you're being watched, and how you respond, how you support people, and when you walk in a room. I think those are ways, and it allows people to carry it on. I think that's important. I'm all about planting seeds and leaving legacy so that people can find their way.
I love all of that. I think we should just put all of that, and it's recorded. We'll put it all in a bucket and we'll get it out to people. These are the ways that we memorialize, how women don't get lost in the story. I want to add one, and it's a little radical, but it's called self-promotion. Women don't self-promote.
No.
We've been taught that self-promotion is not the best thing, right? But I'm going to push back on that theory a bit, that the ability to tell your story your way and to say, this is what I'm really great at. This is what I have capacity for. This is what I can have real impact on. I'd like the opportunity to show you what I got. Men don't hesitate to say that, right? And so there's something about the orientation of women that has this not to self-promote, even when awards come up. It's great if somebody nominates you, but nominate yourself. You've done the work. And if you need the extra letters, then you say to your sister who believes in you, who affirms you, hey, I feel like I really have done some work, and I would like to put myself out there can you support me in that? Sure, I can. What you need me to? So I want to say self-promotion because I have 4 daughters, and I say humility has its place. And yes, definitely we have to have graciousness and be so grateful for all the gifts that we carry. But at the same time, it's okay to be proud. It's okay to be proud of who you are, which is why I started about what are you proud about? It's okay to shine, right? And not overshine somebody else. And so I would add the self-promotion. Look, I can't believe that we coming down to the end of choir because it's a short conversation. But before we leave, I Miss Wedderburn to tell us what has been happening since we talked about the Women's Forum, and I participated in some of them. They've been amazing. Some of the informal, virtual aspects. Well, we have something coming up on Thursday, and I want to give you a minute to shout that out.
Oh man, we've been doing we just took the whole month. We just said, I mean, we were thinking, like you said, self-promote. We were thinking of being quiet, but we said, no, we're going to do every day. Every day in the month, we're going to do something for that woman that can't find her way to where the support is. We're going to bring the support to them. So we've been doing virtual chat and choose with professionals, alums, students. We just broke the ceiling on who can really come and drop nuggets of seeds of wisdom, of guidance, or sometimes even spark that flame back for you. Our entrepreneurs. Remember, we had the young lady who has her own business. We had she made her own flash card and dance tights, and you know that speaks to me because of your professionalism with dance. So when she came to me, I thought of you. And so I was like, yes, we must shine a light on this. So we've been doing that all month. And then on Thursday, we're going to round it up. And we're still not going to end because we're going to go all the way to the 31st with virtual sessions. But on Thursday is our celebration. It's going to be our dance, our wave the flag. It's going to be our, don't mess with us. We bad. So on Thursday, right here in our own student center, we're going to be having a day full of professional development, celebration, honoring. So I'm hoping that the campus community will come out and bloom with us. Bloom where you're planted is our theme. Redefining your purpose. And when you think about when flowers come out of and they grow, when you see that bud coming out of anything concrete, something that you thought was dead, something that you thought was not alive, but then you see that bloom, you see that flower. We want women to be inspired that no matter what is going on, no matter where you are, you can still rise, you can still have, and you can still be. So we're hoping on Thursday the 26th from 10 to 4, women will come out and celebrate with us. Yeah. And so we'll continue it all the way through the 31st of March.
BSU women and alumni, faculty, and staff, you want to come out to this. I mean, there is a mindfulness session that's happening to get us all centered and together. Our own president will be participating on a panel earlier that morning. Then we have a few breakout sessions where you'll be able to learn about your personal growth or financial freedom or sound healing or reflection. It is so much to take advantage of, and it's right here on the campus of Bowie State University, and we want to see you there, okay? We want to see you in the space so that you can find, as our coach said, a space that is affirming with other women across campus. And meet some new people. Don't sit at your own table. Sit somewhere where you don't know nobody, okay? We want you to move around. As the kids say, move around, move around. But thank you. Thank you all so much for joining us. Again, just to recap our CIAA and also to talk about, our space as women on this campus and beyond and what we have gained from it and what we hope to give to it. It's been riveting and we appreciate it. Look, for our audience, we want you to join us next month. Of course, every month is a whole take. And next month, we're going to be talking to BSU legacy families. It is our month of April, and we talk all things legacy. If your mama, your daddy, your grandmama, your granddaddy, aunts and uncles, cousins, brothers, sisters, went to Bowie State, and you all are a part of that legacy family, we want to hear from you, and all that information can be found on the website, along with everything that's happening for Women's History Month as well on the BSU website. We do appreciate your time. You've been listening to A Bold Take on WBSU and its podcast world. You all have a good afternoon. We'll see you later.